Hi there, Jim here with Alvarenga Tours. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, real quick, we want to talk about briefly dealing with a client right now who are we're building a cistern. No,
Well,
oh. Hi there, Alvarenga. Hi there, Jim here with Alvarenga Tours. How you doing? Hey, thank you for following up and thank you for tuning in. We are here today dealing with a customer who we are building a well for. And one of the situations we have find ourselves in El Salvador is that after you build a well, you also got to be mindful that you also going to have a situation where if the well water is not coming enough or strong or efficient enough to be to your house, one of the situations we have is now you don't have any other way of getting water. So this client, we're building a well, but we also are recommending for them to build a cistern. The purpose of the cistern is to store water. It's just a water storage, pretty much. But you want to make sure that if you're having a problem with the well, then you have the cistern, which is where the water is being kept as a source of backup. And then a lot of communities have also water. What happens here in the communities in El Salvador is that the water is limited. So you only get water from a certain time frame, from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., or it could be early in the morning, 6 to 5. It depends on the region, it depends on the residence where you are located. So if you don't have a cistern, what happens is that after a certain time, you don't have water. So you don't have access to water. So we're trying to avoid the problem. Always be mindful that if you are going to build a well, on top of the well, you also got to have a cistern, which is a depository where you're going to store water. And then if the well doesn't work for some reason, then that system will pump the water into your house. But here's another situation. Now you don't have the well who's giving you a hard time. The cistern is also not working properly. You still have the third option, the water that comes from the residence or from the city or from the region that you are residing. But that should be the third option, because bear in mind that in El Salvador, water is somewhat limited. They cut it off, they shut it off literally after a certain time. And if you don't have a cistern to pump the water into the house, you want out water from the residents. And if the well is giving you a hard time, which is what happened here, the well was giving them a problem, then you also won't have water at all. So you got to be mindful when you build them, when you are looking for ways to store water. Make sure that you are doing a well if you are going in that route. And if you don't go the well route, then you also want to make sure that you have a cistern coming from the city or from the residence that you are living or residing into the cistern. So then that water, if it gets cut off or shut off, then the cistern will pump the water into the house after hours. Hey, this is just small tips from Alvarenga Tours. Reach out if you have any questions.